Hey up lads, welcome to Not For Broadcast. I saw a little bit of the game on YouTube and stuff, but I haven't actually played it. To start, the election is fun. How? Oh.
Hi David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. Alright mate, Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're gonna have to run the news tonight. Now don't worry, it's not hard and I'm gonna stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm gonna give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens. Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up.
How do you calculate that?
Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left. These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain. Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the front again.
Yeah, there you go.
Mate, load the ads. The broadcast is starting
I've
soon.
loaded the ad. What are you on?
5, 4.
Right, quick as you can. Select screen one.
I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay,
Moving on
all
up.
good.
The election
Next
win
is going to be the
that
throw to the
also
news
suggests pretty
titles
well.
on screen two.
Hopeful or
There'll be a
hostile.
countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the flowered market. Top chat. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hamsleeves wins Sports Personality of the Year. And a spoonful of sugar. Megan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to Advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic
Right, button two a bit early there, mate.
National Night of News.
Next thing is the throwback to Jeremy with button one when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes.
Okay.
Here it comes. Switch to screen one. Lovely, mate.
But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance. The landslide.
Listen, mate, we often get a bit of interference around this time of night, so keep your eye on the machine on the bottom right. You can move that white dot up and down, avoiding the interference using the yellow knob or your scroll
I
wheel.
don't like
Of a
that.
severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate.
Oh, it's gonna get really
but have
hot.
yet
Oh my
to
god,
appear
what? Oh
publicly.
god, no.
Right,
Oh.
it's going well. All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches
Why would I get
zero,
fired?
press
You want to
one
be
of
here?
the three play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
We'll be going live to Advance HQ to hear the co-leader's acceptance speech.
And 3,
That's all coming
2,
up.
1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody.
Jeremy, I need you to fill after the ads.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late.
Oh,
I thought I'd ask him about the election.
personally, I wouldn't try to confuse him with any big words.
That's the same.
I thought that was our little secret.
He doesn't remember anything I tell him.
I'm deeply uncomfortable with your burgeoning friendship.
Me too.
Yeah.
Wicked, we made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence, because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting.
I
A
don't
lot
want
of
to
it's
do
down
that.
to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb. 1. Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long. 10 seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Quiet in the
Really
studio.
focused on this.
Thank you so much.
10 seconds, everybody. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first
Get
off,
ready to go to Megan on screen 4.
Megan Wolf is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to
go
the
to
shop
Blunderclatch
girl.
on screen 3 when she says his name.
Today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
Right, now just try and stay on whoever's talking.
The latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter the Rat, that's Peter Jensen, the director.
Give us a look at Megan's reaction. Lovely. Now back to Thunder Twat.
I worked with him on several movies, all terribly successful. I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been. And you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Rock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all else. A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
That is a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding, giving, suffering for one's audience.
I just want to bleep.
I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire. The little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well.
Back to who's talking.
Well,
Shut up,
now
Dave.
You're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But, I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again.
Sorry, I said fuck.
Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Medicated, which opens next week.
Right,
around
they've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of
Like
the
this
movie.
growing matter on television.
Get a countdown on the screen, but I'd just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look.
And we're out.
Go to the film clip, screen 1.
Mr. Blundercatch. Mr.
No!
Oh,
Mr. Blundercatch.
Watch out for that interference, mate.
oh, I know. Oh, I don't want the interference. I didn't know that.
I don't understand.
Oh, looks like Blunderclatch is losing it in the studio. I'd love to hear what he's saying, but don't switch to it now. You can go to the archive when the broadcast's done. We keep everything.
I don't know that.
I'm sorry, I just had to. I had to. Go on, let's say it. Think of Carol.
Dr. Lance to you, Miss Flanagan.
Good for you, baby. All for you.
Dr. Hemlock.
I'm gonna change the world, you know? Don't I listen to you?
Dr. Hemlock.
You told me, but I didn't listen.
Doctor.
I'm drowning, Lance, you said.
You need to see this.
No, it's all too late.
Look at this.
The virus. The sterility. It's vulgar.
I feel like it's gonna get a lot harder.
Stop it.
At the end of the clip, you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in.
We should.
Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear the broadcast to go live. That's too late. You can use the number buttons on your keyboard, 1 to 4.
Running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse. 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to advance headquarters. I'm told we can now go live to advance headquarters. Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury. Peter Clement and their acceptance address are about to make their acceptance
Oh
address.
shit, he's pissed.
Shall I
Get ready
start?
to bleep.
Go for it, Pat.
Shall I start? Okay.
Go for it,
Well,
Pat.
thank you all for coming, and well, thank you all
Where
for
do
coming.
I start?
and, well, what a
Where do I
day!
start? They said we couldn't do
People
it.
are shopping
They use every dirty, low-down,
Remember the
lying
10
southern
seconds.
bastard trick they had against us. You, the people,
Nice.
you saw
Why is it
right
going
in
down?
there, Jack.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Why is it going down?
Sorry about it. I'm at me. Coarser than a grown is funny. Coarser than a grown is.
Memorably put. But to be honest, who can blame
Oh, sorry, I
But
didn't.
to be
I
honest,
forget.
who can blame Nita for celebrating? Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that advance are not a political party.
Oh my god.
Get on the speaker, mate.
You don't need a party. You need a team. A team that can change things. But today is day one of a new future. A better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
Again, colourfully put, but not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to
Oh,
pass
I'm showing the first level.
Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know this. Probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated community.
Tomorrow, we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
How people do this to their
All
job?
you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide. I've got nowhere to hide. We revoked your passport. We revoked. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine. First, fine. You're gonna pay first. You're gonna pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into warring individuals, to properly fund health and education, to raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shite. So to you posh twats,
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs, the people whose children you raise.
so they've got time to get even
Not too long on this, mate.
Advance have this to say to you.
It ends today.
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
Dave, can you shut up?
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been. In the hands of the people who created it. In the hands of the people who created it.
Today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow we'll start making it fair again. We'll start making it fair like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time.
Well, then, interesting acceptance speech there from and our apologies for the fruity language, and our apologies we got that moved out from
I didn't see.
So, as the country braces itself for new government, that's all from us this evening at the National Nightly News. We'll be back tomorrow with full coverage of the first day under I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful Jeremy Donaldson.
Right, looks like you've got it now. Thanks for all the help, mate. I've got to go. Ferry's about to leave. Probably won't be coming back. Job's yours, mate. Good luck.
So what's the job?
This is some weird fever dream. Am I dying now or something?
You should be so lucky.
I'll see you tomorrow night.
Not coming for a drink?
No, got a date.
Lucky you. Try not to get murdered.
Oh my. I did the first one, right? Outro.